Welcome. This is our third and final CCAP grantee workshop for the 24-25 year. If you are here, it means that you are either a round one or round two CCAP grantee or one of their partners. I'm very excited about today's topic because I think this is what we at Career Ladders get the most questions about when it comes to dual enrollment. And those are our instructors who can teach our dual enrollment courses and how do we make that happen, and scheduling those dual enrollment courses, whether that's at the college, at the high school, or online. We get a lot of questions about instructors and scheduling. So I'm very excited about today's workshop and the guest speaker we have with us here today. So here's an overview of what we will cover in our time together. I'll do brief introductions of what we're here for today, just in case this is your first workshop or participating in this technical assistance. Then we'll dive right in with our guest speaker, Jennifer Jett from Bakersfield College, who is going to share a wealth of knowledge and experience on onboarding and supporting dual enrollment instructors. We will, after that, take time for question and answers with Dean Jett because I know you're going to have questions for her. And she, again, has a lot of knowledge to lend us today. So please, as she's presenting, jot those questions down and we will spend time going through those together. After talking about instructors, we'll go into the logistics of scheduling dual enrollment courses. This is one of my favorite topics in dual enrollment. So I will be presenting on how to schedule dual enrollment courses and a new tool, the Dual Enrollment Scheduling Tool that I've developed at Career Ladders Project, and is a free tool that we will be sharing with you today. And then we can go over any questions that you might have. So again, if you're here, I'm sure this is an important topic for you and you'll have questions. If you're watching the recording, you can always send in your questions and we will answer those later. So hello, everyone. If this is your first time joining one of our workshops, or if you have not been to our office hours, my name is Kylie Campbell. I'm a director with Career Ladders Project. I do this work part-time. I do just a few contracts, this technical assistance being one of them. But my full-time gig is actually the Associate Dean of Educational Partnerships for Norco College, which is in Riverside Community College District. I am born and raised here in Norco in the Inland Empire. So I do this work that I present on also on a day-to-day basis as I run a dual enrollment program, a middle college, and actually our rising scholars at the local prison as well. So instructors and scheduling are my world where I live, and working with high schools. I came from the high school world as a teacher and an administrator and having to do that master schedule. So I think that's why I love all of this work so much. Joining me, our senior program associate, I'll have Jerry go ahead and introduce herself. And I'm sorry, Jerry, I did not update your last name on the slide.
No worries, Kylie. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jerry Moore. I'm the senior program associate for Career Ladders Project, working with Kylie in this. And if you have any questions or would like to meet with Kylie, feel free to email me and we can schedule something.
Thank you, Jerry. And our special guest today is extra special to me because as I was brand new to the community college world, coming from the high school world, Dean Jett from Bakersfield College, I think she had just come into the role as chair, and I'm sure she'll share that with you. But she was the champion that I didn't know I needed until I was at Bakersfield College trying to navigate all of the red tape and the logistics of making our dual enrollment and early college program work. So just a wealth of experience, but also just such a great champion for dual enrollment. And every time I ask her to present with me, she shows up. So we are so grateful that she's here with us today. You're going to love everything she tells you. And I will go ahead and see if Jennifer wants to add anything to her own introduction.
Good morning, everyone. So yeah, I'm Dean of Instruction over English, Communication, and the Writing Center here at Bakersfield College. And prior to that, I was an English professor for about 20 years before stepping into the role of chair. And for me, early college was also completely new. And I loved working with Kylie, and I feel like we had challenge after challenge, but we always figured it out. And I guess the only thing I would add to my introduction is that this is kind of a personal project for me, because we have 6 boys, and many of them would take AP tests in high school, and we'd pay all this money and they'd take the test, and then lo and behold, the university or college wouldn't accept those results. And so I kind of already had that in the back of my mind. So when I started being involved with early college, I just thought, wow, this is great, because it's on the student's college transcript. There's no question about whether it's going to be accepted or not. So yeah, both professionally and personally, I am, as Kylie mentioned, a champion of this project for sure.
Thank you, Jennifer. And yes, a rock star for dual enrollment, also a rock star mom. When I found out that Jennifer had 6 boys, I couldn't believe, because she is the person on campus who says yes to everything and champions everything and is everywhere. So we are so glad you're here with us today, and I'm excited for you to present. I know everyone will learn a lot. Let's do just brief introductions. Again, for those of you just joining us, hopefully you've heard of or seen CLP somewhere, but we often get asked, what do we do? Who are we? And so I like to just explain, we partner with organizations or with districts or with schools to work side by side with them on their projects and implementing or designing effective practices. So all of our work, we tie into equity and promoting access and success for our students, especially those of our students who are marginalized or underserved. And so we work hand in hand with whoever we're contracted with. In this project, we are working with the CDE, and their foundation has funding to be able to provide technical assistance to all of you. So under this project, our workshops, our office hours, and our services have been paid for by the CDE's foundation so that we can provide technical assistance for your grants. But we also contract with districts and colleges and other organizations across the state, and a few things nationally as well. So we are coming towards the end of this year of technical assistance. This was our 2nd year providing technical assistance to the field. We did 3 workshops. This is the last one for the year. We've had office hours every other month. We have 1 more in May. On that workshop, or sorry, those office hours will focus on end of year grant reporting and how we can support any questions you have on that or any budget updates. So please come in May if you have any additional questions on your grant. And then I think some of you, I see some names, were able to join for the in-person workshop we did at the Equity Conference. It was a pre-conference session with Dr. Naomi Castro. It was a great session, and we were able to offer that at no cost to CCAP grantees under this project. So that was a really great opportunity as well. So with that, enough about the project. Let's get into the fun stuff. We have our special guest, Jennifer Jett, here, and she's going to focus again on the onboarding and support of dual enrollment instructors. So I will transition over to her, and Jennifer, please let me know as you want your slides advanced.
Okay, great. Thanks, Kylie. All right, you can go ahead and go to the first slide. So our dual enrollment program at Bakersfield College is quite large. We have most of the departments participating in it. We have a very large high school district. We have rural sites as well. So as far as getting high school instructors onboarded and feeling supported and making it a real sort of collaboration, we have produced an approach that I think is working really well. And basically we have faculty mentors that we pull from our Bakersfield College faculty. And we pair those with our high school instructors who have met minimum qualifications, who are teaching our BC classes during the high school day. And the reason we took that approach is that we found that there was such sort of a chasm between the high school instructors who are teaching college classes to high school students, and then our college departments and our faculty here. And basically no one was talking to anyone. I think that the high school instructors felt like they were kind of teaching in a vacuum. They couldn't, just like chat with colleagues like we do in a traditional college setting. So we take tenured faculty from the department and we pair them with the high school instructors. So for example, we have one faculty mentor from English, and then she liaisons with upwards of, probably like close to 30 and growing high school instructors who are teaching our courses. And that's really helpful because not only can they get guidance from her as far as, what does the syllabus look like for BC, for the English department? What kinds of books should we be choosing? What are the expectations for a college course? But in addition to those sort of nuts and bolts, this gives an opportunity for the high school instructors to check in with our mentor and say, hey, you know what, this isn't going well. Or, hey, at my school, we were supposed to only have college students from our high school students in the class, but the administration has put in other students. What do I do? So it's really turned into a situation where it's not just a one-way kind of sharing of knowledge, but a really kind of, almost symbiotic relationship between the high school instructors and the BC instructor. We also include them on all of our departmental emails, so they are aware of what's going on in the department. We welcome them if they're ever able to attend departmental meetings. And it's really become, I think, a good practice. The thing about the English department in particular, and Kylie can attest to this, is that initially our English department was very anti-early college. They did not want our classes being taught at the high schools. They did not feel comfortable with that. So once we started kind of bringing everyone together and meeting, we even have meetings once a year, ideally twice a year, where the high school instructors come and can interact with our faculty here and the department chair and the deans. Once we did that, our faculty were like, oh, wow, they're doing the same thing that we are. We appreciate that they're looking to us for guidance as far as best practices. And it's really just kind of created a much more positive environment, I think, on both ends. So I really feel like going with a faculty mentor is a really good approach. We also share with them best practices, as I said, feedback and troubleshooting. Something else that our faculty mentors do is that they administer course evaluations. So they go into the high schools and evaluate the course that's being offered by the high school instructors. And then they also help maintain a Canvas site where the mentors and the high school instructors can leave resources for each other, can chat with each other. And it's just been, as I mentioned, a really positive experience, I think, for both parts. All right, next slide, please, Kylie. All right, so hiring and onboarding high school instructors is definitely something that is a big part of our early college program, mostly because high schools are always interested in offering more classes for their students. They have more and more of their instructors reaching minimum qualifications. So we always are kind of in a process of onboarding and hiring new instructors from the high schools. The high school instructors, as I said, need to meet minimum qualifications. So for example, a master's degree in English for English. And the departments all do it kind of differently, but with English and other humanities, usually we do a teaching demonstration and an interview with the instructors, just as we would with a regular adjunct, because they technically become an adjunct for us, even though Bakersfield College is not paying them to teach these courses. The high school district is paying them. So, but they are onboarded as an adjunct instructor. And also, I should add, oftentimes once we have a high school instructor who's been hired to teach in the high schools, we ask them and encourage them to teach for us as adjunct instructors on our college campus as well. So it's become a really good relationship, not only to staff those classes in the high schools, but also to help staff our additional classes on our college campus. So after we have the teaching demonstration interview, we've said, yes, we want to hire this person. Then we have a mandatory orientation for all of the new dual enrollment high school instructors. And that event includes the mentors come, the department chairs come, the deans come, the high school instructors come, the early college support team comes. We often will invite the director of the writing center, the library, other student support service staff, so just so they can see what we offer, because with our classes being taught at high school, those students, even though they're high school students, are college students, and they are absolutely encouraged to and have access to all of the same student support services that our traditional students have. So I think it's really important at that early orientation to make sure that they're aware of the services available to them and to their students. And I'd like to add too that recently, in the last couple of years, we have identified a writing consultant in our writing center. So the writing center helps all of our students on campus with papers and everything, but we have a consultant who deals specifically with dual enrollment. So, and actually, for the last couple of years, that consultant was a former high school instructor. So she really understands the special sort of circumstances and needs of the high school student. And so we set her up with the instructors, and she can come and give presentations or other kind of tutorials to the students. And then finally, with the onboarding, we try to provide our high school instructors with sample syllabi, rubrics, even sample papers that have been graded by our college instructors, just so they can kind of see how the class should be run ideally. All right, Kylie, next slide, please. All right, something else that we've had to do that has been kind of a pilot, but it works out really well in situations where we have to do this. Sometimes there are schools, especially some of our smaller rural high schools, where the high school instructors do not meet minimum qualifications. Maybe they're working on a master's degree, but they haven't attained it yet. Maybe they do not have a master's degree, but they've had years of experience teaching these students. So what we do is we assign the college course to a traditional BC instructor who is then going to teach the class online. However, that BC instructor and the high school instructor collaborate about the class, and they meet with each other during the semester, and the high school instructor serves as kind of just a guide, if you will, to the students. The students will be physically in the high school students' classroom during the regular school week, but these students are enrolled in the online class taught by our instructor, and so the high school instructor then can serve as a support and help the students interpret assignments, help them submit assignments and all that. And it's worked out really well. We actually are getting more and more high school instructors who are meeting minimum qualifications, so we haven't had to follow this model in a while, but you never know, and we're always ready and willing to do this because it does help the high school provide that college instruction, even if they don't have the instructors who meet minimum qual. All right, next slide, please, Kylie. Okay, I loved making this slide because I was really thinking, gosh, I have learned a lot of lessons during these years working with early college. And, you know, I think it's true in all settings with academics and teaching. You never know what is going to happen until it happens. And then you're like, oh, wow, I'm glad that happened because now I'm going to approach things differently in the future. And it's always a learning experience. And that's certainly the case with early college. So I really had to kind of pare down the lessons I learned to these four. And first and foremost, plan ahead and offer courses deliberately. For a while, our early college team was, communicating the wishes of the high schools and kind of like, oh, they want to offer this class and this class and this class, and can we have those? And oftentimes there were last minute requests, and we've really worked with the early college team here on campus to plan ahead. So now we're trying to identify the classes months and months and months ahead, identify the instructors, identify what books they're going to be using, and really offer courses deliberately. For example, if the high school isn't offering an associate's degree in English, then it doesn't make sense to offer a bunch of literature classes at the high school if the student really only needs sort of the gen ed transfer level English. So just because it's a class on the BC campus doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good fit for the high school student. So that would be my first lesson that I've learned. Secondly, again, it's really important to make sure that there's a good rapport between the high school instructors and the BC instructors, mentors, and staff. As I mentioned earlier, in some departments here on campus, there is some, hesitation about really kind of embracing the early college structure. And I think when there is communication and rapport, and just the teachers of the high schools and the teachers at the college can come together and realize, you know what, we're doing the same thing, we have the same goal, we're trying to help the students in the same way. It really, really helps the overall atmosphere and outcome of these programs. Kind of hand in hand with that, really work to include the high school instructors in the college culture, in the department culture. As I mentioned, many of our high school instructors do go on to become adjunct instructors for us. And I think it does help them to feel like they are seen, their challenges are seen, and that we are here to support and, just kind of commiserate with them, for lack of a better word, in terms of helping our students. And then finally, and this one goes without saying, regular interaction, regular feedback. Our mentors are available every week to meet with our high school instructors. We have monthly meetings with sort of like all of the mentors together, just to kind of get a sense of what questions they've gotten from high school instructors, what challenges they have, what's working well, and then being there to give feedback to the high school instructors and really let them know that we're there to support them all the way. So that's pretty much a summary of the lessons I've learned. So that's my last slide. Kylie, how are we going to handle the questions?
So I can read questions off for you and we'll go
Okay.
through those, but I just have to say, wow, was I right, everybody? Jennifer is like was the dream chair, the dream dean for dual enrollment support. So I'm so impressed. Thank you for sharing. And we do have lots of good questions for you. So I will read them off.
Okay.
And if I can help with answering them, go ahead and let me know.
Okay, perfect. No, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and Wendy Lockhart wants to know, who is the employer for the high school instructors?
Okay, so the high school instructors are employed and paid by the high school district.
Okay, very good. And then the ones, I'm just going to build on that. So you mentioned some of them also do adjunct evening classes. So who's their employer?
Then that would be Bakersfield College becomes their employer when they teach for us on our campus.
Great, thank you. And if anyone has follow-up questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat. Amber Woodward would like to know, I'm wondering how you fund or pay for the college mentors. With our CCAP, the deans usually do this work, and thank you.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I'd have to say that we find different pots of money to do that with. So we often have grants that we use. Sometimes it comes out of our VPI's budget. Sometimes it can come out of, grants specific to like AB 1705, for example. The mentors currently are being paid from an early college grant as far as their stipend. Yeah.
Yes, and that was the HSI grant, right?
Yeah.
Hispanic Serving Institution grant. Great.
Yeah.
And I remember when Jennifer and I started this, we said, we need money for this. We went straight
Yeah.
to our VPI.
Uh-huh.
And they made it happen, yeah. Okay, Rosalind Brown asked, is your hiring practice for dual enrollment instructors, high school instructors, different from your campus hiring process? Is it a quicker process to hire your dual enrollment high school instructors?
That is a great question. I'm going to say yes and no as an answer to that. First of all, it's definitely a quicker process only because we don't have to have the whole, contract specific entire committee where we have, 4 people on the committee, a dean, a chair, someone from another department, where we have a meeting before and we're trained by HR to, we have a meeting with HR and then we look at all the applications and then we rate them all individually and then we come together. Then we decide who we're going to interview. Then we have interviews, and then we deliberate and give our recommendations to the college president. That's how we would do a traditional full-time hire. For a traditional adjunct hire, it's very similar, but we don't have as large of a committee. Oftentimes, just the chair and the dean will interview people, have them do a quick presentation, and then we make a deliberation and just say, we're going to hire these people. That is closer to how we deal with the high school instructors for dual enrollment. We, take a look at the list of folks that the high school is interested in having us consider. We look at their transcripts, their resumes, and then we invite them and ask them, interview questions that are specific to teaching dual enrollment. And oftentimes, not always, but have them do a short teaching presentation. And then again, just that very small committee would make the decision and then let early college know, yes, we would like to go ahead and authorize them to teach.
Thank you, Jennifer. And I can add that the early college team helps in collecting documents from the instructor and the high school district as well to try and simplify the process.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would just kind of say that we could not do it without our early college team, making all the arrangements, talking to the high school instructors and saying, this is when the interview is going to be, giving us here are all their resumes, here's everything. But yeah, it's absolutely collaborative.
Yeah, thank you. That's a great model. Thank you. So also from Rosalind, she would like to know a little more about when the high school teachers don't meet the minimum qualifications. Is the asynchronous course taught between the bell and the high school teacher is guiding the students and consulting with the instructors? Is that right?
Yeah, that's a good summary of how that works. And there's another sort of element with that worked out really well when Kylie and I were doing this. The high school semester is longer than the BC 16-week semester. So the high school instructor has those students kind of front loaded at the beginning before the college course starts. So because the high school and college instructors have collaborated, oftentimes a high school instructor before the college class even starts can say, hey, we're going to do a unit on how to read a syllabus. We're going to do a unit on how to find sources, almost to kind of prime the students to be successful in that college course once it starts.
Great, thank you. All right, question from Leanna Anguiano at Sierra College. How far in advance are you scheduling courses for the following school year? Do you schedule fall and spring at the same time? And any best practices on getting high school partners to submit on time or by the posted deadline?
Right, yeah. So that's always a challenge with any of our special programs, whether it's inmate education or early college. They just are on a different schedule and have different needs, and things are shifting. So oftentimes it is a much later request than what we do traditionally on campus. But we're really trying, early college rather, the team is really trying to plan ahead as much as we can. And there are always last minute sort of changes or shifts, and we've just grown to be nimble with that and be able to make those changes. BC has just recently gone to a year scheduling model. We never used to do that before. So with our traditional classes, we'd always schedule sort of like the semester before for the following semester. Now we're providing this year-long fall, spring, and summer schedule. And that's been very challenging even for our traditional campus classes. And so you can imagine with the high schools, they don't know what's happening, 3 semesters in terms of who's still going to be teaching for them, what grade levels they want to offer these classes in, et cetera. So it's an ongoing sort of challenge, but I think we're getting a lot better at it. And ideally, I think what I would say is plan ahead as much as you can, but also be prepared to be flexible and take changes as they come.
Thank you, Jennifer. So a question from Rosalind on the last few slides. Are all of the tasks with the onboarding and support faculty led, or what does the dual enrollment team get involved in any of that? So the onboarding, the class selection, the hiring, et cetera.
Yeah, that's a great question. Our early college team helps a lot with the nuts and bolts as far as this is how you enter grades. This is how you, deal with a student whose parent wants to know something, but we can't, of course, talk to the parent about the college class. And then in terms of like the more content specific, the syllabus, the assignments, the rubrics, those are becoming more from the mentor and from the department.
Thank you. So Amber Woodward says that she appreciates that you are making a concerted effort to include the high school instructor into the college culture and department. 2 questions for you. For the textbooks, who pays for the textbooks? Is it part of the CCAP? And shares it's extremely costly for the high schools to pay for the college textbooks, and most of the companies don't offer a class set. And then 2, do you have any stipend agreements for the college or the high schools?
So with the books, that's a really great question. In our situation, the high school district pays for the books. We try to ask that the incoming high school instructors use the same, basically, if there are books that the high school has purchased, can we keep using those books? But that's not always possible. But yeah, the high school definitely pays for the books. What was the second part, Kylie, of the question?
If there's any stipends.
Yeah, so I'm not sure, to be honest, as far as I think the high schools do give a stipend to their instructors, and we give a stipend to our mentors.
Yeah, so the college pays the mentor a stipend, I think hourly, and then the high school instructors, each district's a little different, but they do get a stipend. And I think the key part on the books that the college at Bakersfield College has done so well is that component you shared of if they have a textbook that they're using already, the department really considering and looking at if that can be the continued book. Mm-hmm. And when you're using high school teachers, there's less turnover in the books changing, right? So they can adopt it for a few years. So that's key. Rosalind, your question about the apportionment and the high school being the employer, I'll get into this more in the second part of our workshop. But yes, Jennifer, do you want to confirm the college does claim apportionment for these classes, right?
Yeah. Everyone gets apportionment.
Yeah. Nayeli asks, when the high school instructor is teaching the course and they're employed by the high school, does this use up your department's FTE?
No, that doesn't affect that. That's a great question.
So you leave the high school teachers out of the FTE calculation.
Mm-hmm. Right.
A question from Erica Raffo. Does the college offer a stipend? Oh, we said that. So yes, the college doesn't offer the stipend to the high school instructors, but the high school district offers the stipend. Is there any transfer of funds between the college and the high school district? Yes, there is. In Kern Community College District, it's actually in the CCAP agreement, a reimbursement to the high school to support the stipends and some of those book costs. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. So Carrie Irwin asked, what does your college's dual enrollment team structure look like? And I'm going to turn that to you instead of me because I know it's changed.
Yeah, that is a great question, especially specific to our college. It's gone through a bunch of different iterations. We've had the early college team be physically on the campus, where we have a program director, we have multiple program managers, we have support staff, and all of that. A couple of years ago, it got moved to the district, and it was run by a vice chancellor, and then she had a team that kind of transferred over. Most recently, it's come back to our campus, and so we have a director of early college who's also serving as the director of outreach. And she has a team. They're still in the process of adding more folks to the team, but we have a really good core of program managers and support staff who have been working with early college for years. So even when the structure changes or moves, we still have these great core people who know the programs, know what we need. And I personally feel like it works out much better if you have your early college team on the college campus versus at the district or elsewhere.
Yeah, and I'll throw in, just for some context, I think it's probably shocking to hear multiple managers or anything plural when it comes to a dual enrollment team. How big is your dual enrollment program?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, it's yeah. In fact, I don't even know what our most recent number is. Kylie, even what was the most recent number that you remember? And that was a few years ago.
Yeah, so when I was there working with you, we had 40 high schools and almost 14,000 unduplicated students.
Yeah, and I'm sure we're in the high 20s now with students.
Yeah, so anyone thinking like that, the plural managers or positions, I just wanted to give that context. So, but yes, having that college support is very important. Okay, question from Karen Garcia. Do you allow the high school teacher access to the Canvas course? And are they accessing as a teacher assistant? I think this is for the online model. Yeah. Our college partner stopped giving high school teachers access to Canvas other than as a student, and this has been a big problem for the high school.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. When we do that model, the high school instructor has access, and I can't even remember, Kylie, is there like a co-teacher role? It was definitely like the highest role that they could have. They were not just an observer. They certainly were not a student. Yeah, but it's important that they have full access to that Canvas site.
Yeah, we actually, this is where I think our mentors and you and I, we worked with the Canvas team to design a new role that our faculty were comfortable with. And so that might be a good approach, Karen, is to the TA role might have too much access, the student might have not enough. And so they were able to, in Canvas, build a custom role to see what was relevant to the role they were serving, and also to protect what the faculty didn't want the high school teacher to have access to. So I would suggest that. It took us a while, but we did get there. Okay, Isabel Govea, said that somewhat right. Would you be willing to share those onboarding lessons or assignments for students to prepare them once the college course starts, or any other onboarding resources between the high school instructor and the BC instructor?
Oh, as far as like to share our resources? Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Yeah, in fact, if you want to send me an email, or I don't know how you want to do it. And again, our Canvas site is always under construction, but I could certainly hook you up with our director and she can share some of those resources for sure.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah.
And if you send anything my way or to Jerry, we can send that out as well.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, lots of thank yous in the chat. Okay, great question from Denise Shreve. Have you experienced any challenges around the evaluations process, more specifically the community college evaluating the high school dual enrollment instructors?
Yes, this is a very hot topic. So to break it down, basically, because the high school instructors are contracted and paid by the high schools, the college cannot evaluate the instructor in the traditional way. So obviously with our traditional adjuncts and full-time instructors, we go in, we evaluate them. We have the students do student evaluations, and then we also have peer evaluations where we watch them teach and we give them feedback specific to, this is how you are teaching the class. These are things you're doing well. These are things you need to improve on. Because we do not pay the high school instructors, BC is not allowed, for lack of a better word, to evaluate the instructor. We have come up with a process where we evaluate the course. So we give the student evaluations to the students. We get feedback that way. An instructor from BC does go in and observe the class, but they're not observing the instructor per se. They're observing more the structure of the class, how it's going, and all that. There's been a lot of, I don't know, kind of sour apples about that from our college instructors, because they really feel like, hey, if the instructors are teaching our courses, we really should be able to evaluate them in the same way that our traditional instructors are. But for now, this is sort of a compromise that we've come to, and it seems to be working okay so far. And then we'll just kind of hope that it can be modified moving forward.
Great, thank you for that clarification. I know you spent a lot of time working on that. How's it going? Are the course evaluations going well? Is it been a
Yeah, I think they're going well. I do think that the sort of the list of criteria needs to be fine-tuned more so that it's more specific to the, because some of the questions, you know, when our evaluator goes out there, they're like, I don't know how to answer this question because I'm just here this one day, so I don't know how things go every day. But I do think that we're moving in the right direction, and it seems to be working.
Okay, great. I think the answer to this is no, but this might have changed. So Nayeli asked, is allowing the high school instructors into the Canvas page written within the college's CBA?
That's a good question. I don't know about that, to be honest, on my in terms of my capacity.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. I will say, Nayeli, one role that the dual enrollment team plays is that an approval is received from each college instructor before anyone is added to their Canvas shell regarding what role they will have and who will be added. So we had to implement that because we started getting too many requests for support from the high school or teachers to be added to Canvas. So every faculty has to approve anyone added. And they all have very different opinions on who they want added. And so some add tutors, right? And the writing center and all different positions to them. So at BC, do you allow the high school dual enrollment support team access to the Canvas for the students they manage?
Oh, no, our dual enrollment team isn't in the Canvas courses. That would just be the high school instructor, or in that, you know, kind of co-teaching model, both instructors. And I would also add that we don't allow high school administrators either to be in the Canvas courses taught by the high school instructors.
Right, right. Yeah, there's certain things, like if the dual enrollment team or a high school administrator has a question, those are communicated through the dual enrollment process and team, and not through the instructional side. Very good, thank you. Okay, what would you advise? So this one was sent to me directly, and I'm going to hopefully articulate it as I've been asked to do. What would you advise for if they're facing any resistance in working with a department at a community college? Are there any creative solutions to turn this into a win-win situation to get the college's support?
So is the question, for example, if the high school wants to offer courses, but the college is resistant to that, is that the
Yeah,
question?
let's see. It says, so the school, they have a teacher with a master's in sports management and growing interest at the high school, but the college department is not in favor because they have low enrollment in their program on the college campus.
Yeah, and that's something I think that's going to be a battle that always is kind of in existence with programs like this. I mean, even to this day, we can't offer enough English courses on our college campus to accommodate all the students. However, we still have faculty who are very much against offering them in the high schools because they feel like they're taking our students away from us. I think especially with big colleges and big high schools, that's not a problem. However, enrollment is a problem. And so I think with a specialized, um, you know, discipline like forestry, and if enrollment is a challenge on the campus, I could understand why there'd be resistance to offering it in the high school. I think one way to try to deal with that is to maybe consider offering it as a concurrent enrollment class where and that's where basically the class is taught on the high school campus by the college instructor. It's taught after the school day. It's primarily populated with high school students, but it's also open to traditional students. And then that way the high school students can get the course, the college can teach the class, and that's kind of the closest compromise I think that would be a win-win in that specific situation.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, and what Jennifer and I did a lot was, let's call it a pilot.
Yes, I know. Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of the times they were so successful, and once the college and the high school got to build that relationship, it really made a difference. When I met Jennifer, I started in 2018, and as she shared, the department was pretty anti any form of dual enrollment, especially the high school's teacher teaching it prior to that. And now she gets well over 100 requests for classes every year, I'm sure.
Yep.
So, great, thank you, Jennifer. Have you ever experienced a high school teacher who did have the minimum qualifications still being denied? Maybe there's additional metrics that they needed to meet in the interview or portfolio process.
Yeah, that's a great question. Years and years and years ago, when we first started doing early college, basically the way we would approach minimum qualified high school instructors would, if they met the minimum quals, the department chair would sign off on it and the dean would sign off on it, and then, you know, go ahead and teach. In the last 5 years, we've really shifted that to, again, include a teaching demonstration, include an interview, and look at the transcripts that the instructor has. And yes, we have absolutely had situations where we have not approved a high school instructor, even if they meet minimum quals. They have a master's degree, for example, in English, but when you go and you look at their transcript, for example, it's very much focused on high school instruction or special education instruction or whatever, and it's not that more traditional English literature background master's degree. I think that when you do scrutinize the applications a little bit more closely, it prevents there being future problems, because when we weren't screening as carefully, there would be situations to where, you know, when the course is being evaluated, it was like, wow, this is definitely not working. Maybe this instructor needs to have further experience teaching. Maybe they need to observe some college instructors teaching the course. And so, yeah, to answer the question, absolutely, we have, turned down applicants. Now, as far as asking them to do a bunch of extra hoops, no, we don't do that, but we have denied applicants.
Yes, thank you. And I appreciate that a lot. When there is a denial, there's usually a plan, right? So whether it's that online model or like, let's have a college instructor teach it for now and see what that looks like. But there's usually a plan from the department chairs when they do deny the course, and some reasoning behind that. And I think with the new Senate bill, right? Senate Bill 1244, if you're at the high school and you receive that denial and there's no plan for moving forward that is suitable to your high school and your district, then, you know, those conversations with other colleges can start happening and you are able to enter partnerships. So certainly that's hopefully not what your college wants, right? So they want to work with you and come up with something that will eventually work for both sides.
Yeah.
And that, we didn't have that in place for us, so we were
Right.
making it happen even without that. Okay, I believe we've gotten through all of the questions. I told you, Jennifer, there would be a lot of questions for you. You're a rock
A lot of great
star.
questions, really good questions, yeah.
I know sometimes when you're doing the day-to-day grind and you've been doing this for many years, it just feels like the norm, but what you are doing on the support you're providing at Bakersfield is exceptional. You are a rock star at work, at home, you're awesome. I truly wish we could just, clone you, and every college could have a Dean Jennifer Jett on campus for dual enrollment.
Thanks, Kylie. Thanks everyone for all the great questions.
Yes, thank you so much. And I know you have another obligation today, so if you do need to hop off, feel free, but thank you so much for being here. And everyone, if you could just put your love for Dean Jett in the chat, tell her how fantastic she is. But thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna gear up for the next portion. I need to refresh my slides real quick. Okay. Jerry, am I on the right slide?
Yes, the scheduling dual enrollment courses.
Perfect. Okay, so now once you have your instructors sorted out and the support and the onboarding, we also have to make sure the class is scheduled, right? So as the former math teacher, this again was my jam. I love scheduling the classes, figuring out the contact hours. And what has come up the most recently is the question earlier we had was, what about the apportionment? So the way that our two systems are funded for scheduling our classes is very different. But this can and should be done in a way that both the high school and the college have the funding they need to support their program, even though they are not drawing that funding from the same activity. Okay, so I'm gonna go through that. I will also have time for Q&A with you, but hopefully this provides some context. And I like to start with the challenge. What I'm going to primarily focus on today is there is a big focus on having dual enrollment during the school day, because we know that our students have the most access to these opportunities when they're between the bell. So if we do that, how do we meet the time requirements of two different governing agencies that operate very differently, the CDE and the California Community College Chancellor's Office, while maintaining that trust and collaboration with the college and the high school, and assuring that we're not double dipping. We are scheduling to meet the timing requirements of the college while also being protective of the bell schedule and the ADA of the high school. And there is a way to do all of this, even though it seems like a very daunting task. I'm here to hopefully make a little clearer and to support you in this journey. So what are the high school requirements? If you're from the high school, which I know most of you on the webinar are, there's a minimum day requirement. So there is a minimum day at which is a number of instructional minutes that must be met within a day in order for the high school to claim average daily attendance, or ADA. Okay. Whether this is applicable to charter schools, okay, depending on the structure of the charter school, different schools have different requirements. But we're going to focus on a few of the main minimum day requirements in this conversation. And so for our comprehensive traditional grade 9 through 12 high schools, the minimum school day requirement is 240 instructional minutes. We will get into what counts in that, what doesn't, but what's important is that on an average, there are 240 minutes within a day. If you're on a block schedule, there is an average of that over a certain amount of days, right? And so if you're on block schedule, you're more familiar with how that math is done. But the exception to the 240 minutes as it currently stands in Ed Code is for early colleges and middle colleges. And most recently, the California Department of Education has included programs. So early college high schools, middle college high schools, or early college or middle college programs are included within the 180-minute minimum school day. And all of this can be found in time and accounting from the CDE, which I will reference several times in the presentation. But one clear distinction I want to make on that is that being an early college high school or a middle college high school or having a program does not automatically mean your minimum is 180 minutes. That 180-minute daily minimum is for students who are actively enrolled in dual enrollment. If the student is not actively enrolled in dual enrollment during the school day for a term, then they would need to have 240 instructional minutes. Okay. So what does 240 minutes look like? Okay, 240 instructional minutes out of a traditional school day. So here's a bell schedule that's pretty common with 6 periods. I know some schools have 7, so they have shorter times or maybe a longer day. But here's a sample with just the periods being 58 minutes. We have 348 minutes of instruction within this sample bell schedule. What I'm going to add into that is the passing periods between instructional periods and 1 on either side of lunch. These details, again, they can all be found in time and accounting, but if you're not an expert on minimum instructional minutes and adding those up, you can count a reasonable length passing period. The recommendation is 5 minutes, although I don't know how that gives our students time to go to the restroom. But let's say it's 5 minutes. You can count from instructional time to instructional time. But on lunch, you can only count 1 of those passing periods, not both. So this would leave us with 373 instructional minutes. Now, what happens when we start adding in dual enrollment? So I like to clarify dual enrollment can be offered during the school day, and dual enrollment can be offered as independent studies. This is from the time and accounting. So we can do both dual enrollment in person during the school day. We can also have dual enrollment independent study. And here is the restriction. You can offer dual enrollment as independent study or during the school day, but a district or county office of ed cannot receive apportionment for an instructional activity for which another district is receiving allowance or apportionment. So in other words, both the school district and the community college cannot be funded for the same course. So where this leaves us is with the college is going to receive apportionment for the enrollments in the dual enrollment section. When the college is receiving that apportionment for those enrollments, those minutes can no longer be included in the minimum instructional time. So the puzzle and the math is, how do we build a school day where the dual enrollment classes being removed still leaves the high school with the minimum instructional minutes they need for full ADA? So to break that down a little bit more here, a lot of you're from the K-12 side, so you understand the local control funding formula and how you're funded. That funding is based off of your average daily attendance that you report at different times throughout the fiscal year. This is generated by in-person instruction and independent study, but it all comes back to those instructional minutes. The community college is a different funding source and only funded based off of FTE and census enrollments. So if students were in the class but dropped before census, the community college is not receiving apportionment for those students. They receive an apportionment based off the full-time equivalent of the census enrollments from the state for the class. No more, no less. This is what they receive. In order to claim the apportionment, the college must have a minimum number of contact hours, and these are set within a college catalog or within the course outline of record, should be in both. And what this means is that each class, depending on the class and that course outline, has to meet for a certain number of class hours or contact hours based off of the curriculum. This is very different from the high school, where we have a period at the high school. It meets for a certain number of minutes for a semester and a year. You give semester credit, you give year-long credit. At the college, it depends on the course. A lab course can be up to 108 hours required, whereas most lecture courses are 54 hours required. It's not a direct computation on units. I often get the question, if it's 3 units, is it 54 hours? No. The course outline will explain how many lab versus lecture units are in each class. And there can be 2 3-unit classes where one of those 3 units is 72-hour class and one's 54, because one contains a lab and the other does not. There's also a weird formula. I think it's a very helpful formula to us, that it tells you how the minutes translate into contact hours. And so 1 contact hour is 50 minutes. If you have tried to schedule a dual enrollment class on your campus and given the college any less than 50 minutes, they will tell you, I cannot use that. A college class must meet for a minimum of 50 minutes, no exception. 45 minutes is 0 contact hours. We don't do anything but 0s and 5s. So 45 minutes doesn't work, but 50 minutes is 1 contact hour. If you can get up to 65 minutes, you get 1.3 contact hours. And the contact hours are what needs to add up to that 54, that 72 based off of the course outline. I highlighted 2 in a blue box here because when I'm scheduling dual enrollment classes, these are my sweet spot. When I have a normal high school day, non-block schedule, I'm looking for that 50 minutes. If you have a 49-minute period, go to your leadership and say, how do we make this 50? Let's go through the process. Give me 1 more minute on these periods. I need it for dual enrollment. It is worth it. If you're on a block schedule or you're doing a class before or after school, 85 minutes to me is just beautiful. When you have 85 minutes, 1 hour and 25 minutes, you get 1.7 contact hours for that 1 class. So you can start reducing down to 2 meetings a week instead of 3 or 4. These for me, if you're like, I don't even know where to start in the math, start with either 15 minutes or 1 hour 25. These are really great and really common. If I haven't lost you already, let's start looking at what this does to instructional minutes. And I have good news for everyone. Before you leave, you'll be able to get or request the dual enrollment scheduling tool that can do the Kylie math for you. So I'm not telling you you need to know how to compute contact hours or even how to add. The tool does all of that for you. So we're getting to that. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. But here's an example. I took the same bell schedule. I put 2 dual enrollment classes in 5th and 6th period. I put them back to back. This means I'm no longer counting those 2 periods for instructional minutes. I'm also no longer counting that passing period because it's not instructional time. So after lunch, not counting it, and there are 252 instructional minutes left in my high school day, which means I get full ADA for this student coming to periods 1 through 4. Changing it does put you at a little bit more of a risk. We have to be careful here. When you change the dual enrollment, you might be losing another passing period, and those 5 minutes might not seem substantial, but they could make all the difference. And so here's an example, period 2 and period 5 are dual enrollment. So I lost a couple more passing periods in my calculation. I'm still at 242. If you're using the tool and you're finding you're at 398, 399, again, this is where it is absolutely worth it to go to your administration. I know this has to go up through the board, but say we need 1 more minute on every period or 2 more minutes here. And it really will make all the difference in your ADA. And because it's tied to money, they're going to say, let's do it. For those of us who are building out pathways with degree completion, and you might be thinking, well, with CCAP, they can take up to 4 classes. No, you can't fit 4 classes in your high school day and still get full ADA, unless you had a really long high school day, but we don't do that, right? And so what I suggest at that point, maybe you can get a third period in if you have a 7-period day. You get 3 dual enrollment classes in, maybe. Maybe your district is willing to take a cut on ADA. Probably not. So when you get to your students taking their 3rd or their 4th dual enrollment class, this is where you have options like before school, after school, online, right? Not encroaching on your dual enrollment time or your ADA and your minimum instructional minutes. So high schools, this translates to me when we are assigning students to in-person dual enrollment classes in your bell schedule, capping them at 2 dual enrollment classes or knowing what happens if they enroll in 3 during the day is essential to you ensuring your funding. Because this is how you receive the funding for your full day and for your operations without losing, right? This is how we keep the win-win. It may require that you need to know, right? If you don't have a transparency from your college of which courses your students are enrolled in or an easy reporting of that, stressing that importance so that you know, I need to ensure that they're not in more than 2 classes during the school day. We need some sort of restrictions on that to ensure our funding. These are very important conversations for your partnership to have. As I said, there's a light at the end of this tunnel. You don't have to have a Kylie or even a calculator to do this. What I've done is I've taken years and years of figuring out the bell schedule to ensure the minimum instructional minutes and also computing contact hours. And I've designed a 2-part tool that Career Ladders Project has provided the funding for us to make and give to you for free. So I will give you the link to request your copy. Let me show you what it does first so that hopefully you can refer back to this if you need some additional instruction. But there are 2 tabs and 2 parts within the tool. Part 1 is where you need to be if you're still trying to figure out, are we meeting our minimum instructional minutes? So by putting your bell schedule into part 1 on the first tab, and then selecting and playing with the dual enrollment options, you'll be able to easily see, are there days where we're not meeting minimum instruction? Are there areas where we need to add a minute or 2? That's first. After you have your master schedule in, after you verified what periods you can safely offer as dual enrollment without losing any ADA, you can start using the calculation tool for the contact hours. And so part 2 was really built for the college user in mind, but being at the high school, I think it's key to understand what happens when there's late start days or holidays. How do these contact hours add up? And so what part 2 of the tool will do is take your bell schedule and your minutes and make those 0s and 5s, tell you how many contact hours there are, tell you when you should start and end your class. And it's exactly what the college needs to be able to schedule. So let me show you. We're all like visuals, right? So here's an example of putting in a bell schedule. Whenever I build one of these tools, if you're familiar with the Access Gap tool, this has the same rule. Only input information where there's bright yellow. If you put information anywhere else, you're going to mess up all the formulas. It's okay, email me, I'll fix it or send you a new one, but only input your information in the bright yellow. And so I've put in here a sample bell schedule. Now here's what a Google Sheet, or at least let's just say I'm not smart enough to figure out how the Google Sheet would know this. You do have to tell the Google Sheet which of these are dual enrollment, which ones are high school instructional time, and for your passing periods, which ones are instructional and non-instructional. So these are going to be drop-down menus for you. It will take time, make sure your administration is looking it over to make sure it's correct. And then it will do that math to tell you what your high school instructional minutes are. There are samples within the tool. So be like, what does this look like for 5 days of the week? How do I select what? There's samples that are already pre-filled out like the one that we have here. So here is the same example, but I've added a second dual enrollment into the schedule. I'm still at 246. If I were to play around and move this to different periods, again, I want to make sure. I know that there's some partners that they're sticking with first period and sixth period being their dual enrollment because they know that they can do that. But the moment if they have like second and third, they lose too many instructional minutes. So all of this is super, you must know this, right? On the high school side, you must know this for your ADA. And here I just changed that up. So a visual of that. If I did second and fifth period, I'm playing with fire. I'm right at 240. It could, you know, go either way here. So you want to be very careful and try out different periods in the scenario. So after you figure out which periods you can offer for dual enrollment, here's part two. You're going to input, the most important thing on this page is what period is it going to be. So this will draw over the schedule from your period on part one. So the period 2 schedule has populated into the boxes. And as promised, you don't need a calculator. It's going to tell you, here's how many dual enrollment minutes you can get out of that. Here's your contact hours. And here's what the college will use as your dual enrollment start time and your dual enrollment end time. So all of that is going to automatically fill in those white cells after you select the days that the course is going to be offered. So in this example, my class is going to meet Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Let's say Wednesday was a late start day. I didn't have 50 minutes, so I'm not going to count it. And I put the start date, the end date. What's really important, and I think we often forget about, our holidays need to include really any day that the class is not going to meet. So we have the normal, we have our Thanksgiving break, Labor Day, Veterans Day. What the college also needs to know about is, when are you having a non-student day? When are you having minimum days? Your minimum day schedule is not the same as your full day. So if you have a college instructor coming, or even if it's your high school instructor, you don't have the minimum instructional minutes the college needs for that class. So in the tool, rather than calling them all holidays, I've just called them non-dual enrollment days. And there's a description of everything you should include there. Take out your rally days, take out testing, right? Right now, with your students being pulled from testing, they're not doing their dual enrollment class, right? So it's important, pull these days out. And then what you'll be left with is, after you put in how many contact hours you need for the course, it will tell you how much you have. And the green font here means you're good. If it's red, you're short. You need to be within 5%. Within 5% of the requirement is good. It will turn green. If you're in the red, you need to add more time or take time away. 54-hour classes are the easier ones to get into your term. I know most of you are working with, 89, 90 days, right, in your semester. So it's easier to cut that back to 54. 72 can work. Anything more than that, I think, is where we start needing to get creative and finding that additional time for the class. There's a question I'm going to answer. I know I'm going to do Q&A in a minute, but since I'm near the slide, there's a question about the block schedule. So in the tab where you're putting in your block schedule or your bell schedule, you actually get to each day select what those periods are and put the times in. So Monday, maybe you put in period 135, and Tuesday you put in 246. So you'll customize that. So yes, you can put block schedules into the tool. And rotating schedules. All your crazy schedules you can put into the tool. So this tool is, I'm going to give you the link to do that, but I do see questions already coming in. So I'm going to pause for those, and I'm keeping an eye on the time so that we are out of here on time. And so there's a great question in the chat that is from Leticia. Are the tools only for non-charter schools, since these instructional minutes are different for charter schools? So the way we made it is that you can use this tool no matter what instructional minutes you're looking for it to add up to. That's specifically why on part one, it's not going to give you like error, you're under 240 or under 180, it's not going to tell you what you need your total to be, so that as you're looking at it, you know, these are the minimum instructional minutes I need for my program or my type of school. So it can be used for any school. If you are a basic aid school, we usually like to recommend following the 240, or if you have an early college, middle college program, the 180, even though it's different requirements for you. But yes, the intention was for this to be used by charter, non-charter, basic aid, all schools. Are you thinking about passing periods from the college required? Are you taking out? Yes, okay. Great question. Are you taking out the passing periods from the college required contact hours? Yes, so in the 50 minutes for the contact hour, that should not be included in the passing period, right? So it should be 50 minutes in the classroom. You'll see on the example I have on here, these are 57-minute periods. So you can put 50 minutes within that. You need to be very careful if you're doing the opposite. If you have a 48-minute period and you say, I'll take 2 minutes out of the passing period, that could be an audit finding on the college side, which could then remove all of the funding for that section for the college, and then isn't good for the partnership. Not saying it can't be done. Here's how I would recommend doing that. If it's before school, starting a few minutes early. If it's after school, going a few minutes late, or maybe if it's right on the side of a break. But when doing that, what I recommend to schools is that you produce a schedule that shows that, right? If you're in a dual enrollment first period, it doesn't start at 8:45, it starts at 8:40. If you're at a dual enrollment second period, you don't come back from break at 9:52, you come back at 9:50. And so we're seeing this more and more where there is a dual enrollment schedule or an early college program schedule of those adjustments, just to make sure that if you are going to take those minutes from passing period, you're reflecting that somewhere. Oh, thanks for the kind words, Darren and Rosalind. Let me, without any further delay to you, make sure you get the scheduling tool link, which we'll also send out in the email. What's going to happen after you request the tool is that I will be creating a copy for you and sending it to you. That copy you can edit, you can make as many copies of it as you want, you can share it with whoever you want. The reason I do it that way is because it is a new tool. And so if there's a glitch or we find something wrong with it, which full transparency, there's been a couple things like that can be improved. I actually go back through all of the copies I've made and I make those improvements for you. And it's going to be on the document I share with you. So it'll take me a little while to make all the copies and to get them out to you. I would do it as quickly as possible, but from there, share it, make copies of it, do what you will with it. If there's a copy you make and it gets all messed up, just email me. I'll have your original copy. I can get back to you. If you send me the link, I pop in there and give you some advice on why is this doing that, or what would you do in this situation? But it's built to be interactive and to be shared with you. So hopefully you can share it and it will benefit others as well. So the form is in the chat. You fill out the form. I will send it to you. If you have an older copy, so Rosalind, sorry, this was a direct message, but Rosalind was so kind as to help me in the pilot. Yeah, go ahead and request a new one. Since we've launched it in, I think it was January or February, time's just flying by. We've added in examples and a few improvements, but if you've requested it since this form has been live, it's the exact same tool. We haven't updated it other than going back in and just making some pretty little adjustments to it here and there. Also very open to feedback. It's such a new tool, and with anything with technology, there's always, could it do more? Could it do this better? So please send those my way. And if you are here from your high school, please share it with your college and work through this, because if there's a part, again, part 2 is very college language. They might be the ones who figure that out, but they could really benefit from you explaining part 1 to them. And so also, if you're from the college, same thing, partner with your high school, make sure you look at this together. Are there any other questions about scheduling, the scheduling tool?
There are 3 in the previous ones, Kylie. One from Erica. I spoke with CDE and they told me that we could not average over 2 days. We had to have 240 minutes per day. We're not early or middle college.
Okay, we have received this question before. It's really important to talk with whoever is claiming your ADA at your district. And I know that there are services, some very big statewide, that your districts contract with for these exact types of questions. And those are who I would send these questions to, because we do get conflicting information from different entities. But whoever is claiming your ADA, dual enrollment aside, right? If you're a blocked school, there's a way that you are getting your minimum instructional minutes. So refer the questions to who you are, whoever's doing your ADA at your district, and if you're consulting with someone on that. I will say I have spoken with a few of the larger consultants that district use, and they are very well versed on dual enrollment and how that applies, because this is not new. If you have students released for athletics, if you have students that go on field trips, if you have students who have a free period because of work experience or anything, this is all playing into those calculations. And so it's the same. It's just because we don't think of dual enrollment as that, because the students are still on campus. We don't imagine removing it. So those, whoever's doing your ADA, applying the same processes you use for any other reason a student does not have an instructional period, should apply for dual enrollment. And hopefully that's a helpful answer, because we have heard that same response from other schools before.
Thank you, Kylie. Following that question, the next one is, how does a school identify as an early college program? There's no new CDE code. How does the CDE know you are a program?
Yes, great question. It would be so nice to have definitions for these in Ed Code. Career Ladders Project, and we work very closely with CDE. Of course, we're doing this contract in partnership with them. So think of a program for an early college, high school, and a middle college program being what the whole high school would offer, but for a cohort or a subset of your students operating on your campus. So there's not a set number of units or a set number of students required for the program, but you do need to have some structure in place of being part of the early college program means this for this cohort of students, or the middle college program means this for the students. And the difference between when I say early college, middle college from Career Ladders Project is typically early college will be on your high school campus, and middle college, the students will go to the college campus, because a middle college is defined in Ed Code as being on a community college campus. We know definitions are different everywhere, but if you can show you have a program, it's a subset of a early college or middle college, high school that you have for your students, you want to brand that as a program. It does not need a different CDE code.
Thank you, Kylie. Diane?
Kylie, Kylie, I just wanted to add, this is Diane. Hi. We don't know what programs are out there, to be honest, because there is no, we don't require a new CDS code for a program. And until the legislature requires us to collect data on programs, we don't know. However, I do want to add in that the audit guide has been updated, just so you all know, to include programs. So the auditors will now be aware of if there's anything in your schedule that says dual enrollment, they will look for students or the schedule, and they'll look for students to make sure if they're not enrolled in a college course, that they're meeting their 240 minutes. So just so you know, that's kind of, we don't know is the answer to that question.
No, that's great. Thank you, Diane. It's great to know the auditor's manual's been updated. I know that the FAQ on time and accounting has also been updated with the program language. So I think that's very helpful for the field. Thank you. Oh, I see the next question. So I think this might be the last one, and we're wrapping up here. So students must be actively enrolled in dual enrollment to qualify for 180 minutes. Does this mean different schedules for different students, and how would the high school manage this? So with that, on the student schedule, so ADA is student-based. It needs to be the student met the instructional minutes, you claim ADA for the student. And so what Diane just shared is that auditors will be looking at, was the student in the dual enrollment class or not? So if a student and the ADA for that student is being claimed at 180-minute minimum, there must be a way to verify and prove that the student was in a dual enrollment class in that term. That will distinguish if they're dual enrollment or not for the 180 minutes or the 240 minutes. And so it doesn't need to necessarily be a different schedule, same bell schedule, just the student needs to be enrolled in a dual enrollment class. And we are right at time, everyone. So thank you so much for coming and for sticking around. If you don't have mine or Jerry's email, oh, Jerry, I put the wrong email on there.
Oh,
Please
no worries.
email us if you have any questions. Fix this real quick. So grateful that you came today, and our next office hours are on May 15th. And we'll be there to support you with your grant. Special shout out to Diane. Thank you for joining today.